This is Shyam Panchal and I welcome you all back to this online learning platform with me. I'm going to give you this lecture on behalf of Takshila Model Senior Secondary School. So students, after a long session of grammar work, we are back to the poetry section. And in this lecture today, we are going to discuss poem number 2 of your book. Poem number 2, which is entitled as Bird Song. Bird Song, which is written by an anonymous writer. It was actually written in the year 1941, and this poem has a very important theme, and this theme is very interesting. The theme that runs through this poem is actually nature, or the things which are quite beautiful, the things which are associated with nature. Nature holds a healing power, and this healing power actually removes the darkness from our melancholy hearts. So student, this is basically the theme of the poem, that is the nature, right? So here this chapter has been taken from class 8 book Roots and Wings. This is the poem number 2, Bird Song, and here the theme of the poem, as I told you just a moment ago, is nature. Then we have about the poem. I have just given you a brief outline of the poem. The poet actually through this poem wants to tell that all the things of nature, right, whether it be the birds, right, whether it be the trees, the flowers, the clear and clean rivers, right, and water bodies, all these components of nature, right, just present what? They present a very beautiful scenery, right? And this beautiful scenery is actually quite pleasing to human senses, right? When a person who is just grievous, who is just sad about something, right, and when he just takes a look at these beautiful things of nature, he really feels somewhat relieved, right? And he just feels himself separated from all his present worries. So this is basically what we are going to read in this poem. This is what the poet expresses through this poem. So this poem actually has 3 stanzas. I have written stanza number 1 on board here, right? You can see. Later on we will just discuss stanza number 2, right? So let us just first of all discuss stanza number 1. Stanza number 1, as you can read, it is written on board. He doesn't know the world at all, who stays in his nest and doesn't go out, right? So basically in stanza number 1, this stanza actually is consisted of 5 lines, right? And this is a rhyming scheme: A, B, C, B and D. How do we actually just find out the rhyme scheme of a given stanza? Here this ending word of this line is all. The ending word of this line is go out, right? Means out, we can say simply out. Here this is best, and here this is about. So we can say that out actually rhymes with about, and the remaining 3 sounds, right, 3 ending words which just produce these 3 remaining words produce a different sound. That's why we call this A, right? We call this B, we call this C, but we call this sound as B again. Why? Because this one is similar to this one, right? Then we have that the world is full of loneliness. Loneliness gives an entirely different sound from the remaining 4, right? And that is why we have just marked it as D. So this is the way we just find out the rhyme scheme of a given stanza. Now just take a look at what the poet wants to say through this stanza number 1. The poet here begins his stanza with the pronoun he. He says he doesn't know the world at all, who stays in his nest and doesn't go out. Means a person who just doesn't make a move out of his house, or a person who is just not interested in other things, right? A person who is so absorbed, who is so involved in his day-to-day activities that he has no time to think about his near and dear ones, right? He has no time to just go out and take a look at the beauty of nature. Such a person, right, never knows. Such a person never knows. Such a person never knows what? Such a person never knows what the birds know best. Means such a person does not have much knowledge about the world or worldly things, right? संसार और उसके चीज़ों के बारे में ऐसे व्यक्तियों को कोई जानकारी नहीं होती है. द पर्सन हु इज़ क्वाइट इनहिबिटेड, द पर्सन हु इज़ क्वाइट कन्फाइंड बिहाइंड द बाउंड्रीज ऑफ हिज हाउस. अपने घर की दीवारों के पीछे रहने वाला व्यक्ति जो कभी बाहर नहीं जाता है. द पर्सन हु नेवर विजिट्स अदर पीपल, जो दूसरे लोगों से नहीं मिलता है. सच अ पर्सन इज नॉट हैविंग इनफ नॉलेज अबाउट द वर्ल्ड, राइट. एंड द पोएट एक्चुअली थ्रू दीज first two lines want to say that such a person has no knowledge, and such a person just does not know how to actually live this life, right, in a better way. So he doesn't know what birds know best. The poet says that such a person does not know what the birds know best. Means there are a lot of things which the birds, the animals, they know how to do things better than the human beings, right? But if we just never come in contact with those creatures, maybe the animals, the birds, right, and other things like the trees, right? So how can we come to know that? How can we come to know about those things that these creatures know how to do them better, right? So similarly, the poet says he doesn't know what birds know. Means there are a lot of things which birds know. Birds, yeah. We can also say that poet has used this word bird as a symbol. Means birds here simply means the people, right, who are more intelligent, the people who have more knowledge about things. So when we just don't go out and see these things or see those people, we can never know what they know, right, about particular things, what their feelings are towards particular things best. Know what I want to sing about, nor what I want to sing about, that the world is full of loveliness. Here the poet says in the last two lines of this stanza that poet sings a song, and in his song he just praises what? He praises the loveliness of nature, right? He praises the loveliness of the world. Means this world, though at certain point of time looks quite uninteresting to us, right? It looks very boring to us. It looks that there is no charm in it, in this world. But the poet believes that if the observer, if the beholder has a different viewpoint, then that beholder or that observer can see that the world is full of what? The world is full of loveliness, right? And the poet actually pleads in the first two lines of this stanza to the readers or to the observer, right? For what? The poet pleads them to just come out of their homes and do what? To just come out of their homes and go out in the world and enjoy the loveliness which the world presents to you, right? So the world, though we consider it that the world has a dark side only, but the world has a positive side also, and it is, it really depends on us with which viewpoint we actually look at the world, right? So the poet pleads us, he requests us to leave our homes and come out in the world, right, and just enjoy the loveliness which the world has, right? He also says in this fourth line of this stanza, know what I want to sing about. Means the poet says those people who just do not go out of their house, right, they never come to know what song is he singing, and there is a mention of what thing in his song, the song he is singing, right? So unless these people just leave their homes, come out in the world, they will not be able to know what is actually happening, what is actually going on in the world, and their knowledge will be limited. Secondly, they will not be having an opportunity to please their senses, and they will not be having an opportunity to let the darkness which is prevailing in their heart, right, be removed. So students, in this first stanza we come to know that first the poet pleads the people, requests the people to leave their homes and come out into the world. Why does he just plead the people to come out into the world? So that they just can know a lot of things which other people, which other animals and other things of nature know, right? So we will come to know what the birds know, we will come to know what the poet actually sings about. So we will have this knowledge only when we just leave and we just cross the boundaries of our homes, right students? So now let us move on to the second stanza of this. So students, here we have stanza number 2. Stanza number 2. When dewdrops sparkle in the grass and earth's aflood with morning light, a blackbird sings upon a bush to greet the dawning after night. Then I know how fine it is to live. So this is the second stanza. The second stanza actually tells what are actually the things of beauty, right? The poet has mentioned a few things of beauty here, and the poet in the last line tells that after he has just taken a look at these things of beauty, he now just comes to know how fine it is to live, right? He finally comes to know that it is fine to live this world, right? So now let us just take an explanation of this stanza. So first the poet says, when dewdrops sparkle in the grass. So when does it actually happen, right? Overnight what happens, there are dewdrops, right? Droplets of water are there present on the plants, right? On the grass. And when in the morning the sun rises and the sun just scatters its beams, its rays on everything, these small droplets of water, right, seem to be what? These small droplets of water seem to be shining like a piece of prism, right? So this is actually a thing of beauty. I mean, this is actually a sight of pleasure, right? This sight actually gives pleasure. It is a thing of beauty. So when dewdrops sparkle in the grass and earth's flood with morning light. So when do the drops sparkle? The drops actually sparkle when the morning is aflood, the earth is aflood with morning light. Morning light here means the rays of the sun, right? So when rays of the sun falls upon the earth's surface, all the plants on which there are dewdrops, these dewdrops just do what? They just sparkle, right? They just shine. So this is actually a beautiful sight, right? A beautiful scene. A blackbird sings upon a bush to greet the dawning after night, when I know how fine it is to live. Second thing of beauty which is mentioned in the second line and in the third line of this stanza is a blackbird, right? A blackbird does what? A blackbird sings. And why does the blackbird sing? The blackbird sings only to give a signal to the people, right? The blackbird just sings to give a sign to the people that now the morning time is going to be there, right? And they should just do what? They just should get up. They just should wake up. They just should leave their beds, right? And to greet the dawning after night means the blackbird sings here. It is written in the poem, the blackbird sings to greet. Greet means to welcome. To welcome what? To welcome the dawning, right? And this song of the bird, this song of the blackbird is quite sensuous to the poet's ears, right? Not only to the poet's ears, but to everybody, to everyone who just listens to this song in the morning, right? So the poet here believes that the song sung by the blackbird in the morning, and this song is sung by the blackbird to greet the morning, we can simply say, right? Dawning here means the period of time when the sun has not come out in the morning, right? So to greet the dawning after night, then I know how fine it is to live. So the poet here tells in the last line of this stanza that when he just takes a look at all these things of beauty, there are two things of beauty which are mentioned in this stanza. First one is the dewdrops which sparkle when the sunlight falls on it, right? And second is the song sung by the blackbird. This song is quite melodious to the poet's ears, right? And the poet believes that this song has a very magical effect, right? And it just does what? It just drives all the darkness from his heart away. And this song and this the beauty of the droplets which sparkle in the sun rays, right, in the sunshine, they just give him the inspiration to live in this world, right? So students, basically we have understood the sense of this stanza, right? Now it is the time to move on to the stanza number 2. Oh, sorry. So students, now we have the last stanza of this poem, that is the stanza number 3. So stanza number 3 is actually the concluding stanza of this poem, and here the poet actually requests the readers to just come out into the world outside, right? And why does he just lead the people? Why does he just request the people to come out of their house and just enjoy the beauty of nature? Because the beauty of nature can just do what? It can beautify their life. It can beautify their heart, right? So in order to make the hearts and life of the readers, right, beautiful, he just pleads them to just leave their homes and come out into the world, right? So hey, try to open up your heart to beautify, go to the woods someday. Means the poet here just pleads the people, if they, right, if they just want to beautify their life, if they just want to beautify their heart, they should do what? They should just open their heart. First of all, they should they just should be what? Open-minded, right? And they should just open up their heart, and they should go where? They should just go to the woods someday, because the poet believes. And students, why does the poet actually want the people to go to the woods? Because woods is the only place, right, where there is beauty of nature available, right? Means where there the beauty of nature is prevalent, right? Means you can just be excited to see various forms of beauty there. And that is why actually the poet wants the readers to just visit the woods once, right? And wave a wreath of memory there, and if the tears obscure your way. The poet here says, if the tears has obscured your way. Obscure here means to make something unclear, right? Means blurred. So if the tears has blurred, right? If the tears have blurred your way, so you just need to do what? You just need to wave a wreath of memory there. Means if your heart is full of sadness, if your heart is full of melancholy, you just need to do what? In order to beautify your heart, in order to clean your heart, right? In order to just give peace to your mind, you just need to do what? You just need to visit the woods. You just need to go to the woods, and there you will just do what? There you just need to wave a wreath of memory. Wave here means knit and to make, right? So you just need to knit what? A wreath here means a group of something, or a garland, right? You need to just wave a group of what? Memories, right? The poet actually says this because whenever you are around a piece of beauty, right, a piece of natural beauty, right, suppose the weather is quite pleasant, right, and you are just standing out on the roof, and breeze is blowing just against your face, and there's a little drizzle, right, and just few hours before there was quite scorching heat, right, and so what actually happens? It happens that your heart feels satisfied, contented, and you are just not live to your day-to-day life's problems, right? So that is the case when you are amidst the thing of beauty, you just forget all your worries, right? And that is why the poet says, when you are there, when you are where, when your problems have overpowered you, right? So you just need to do what? You just need to go to the woods, and there you will just forget all your worries, all your problems, and you will be doing what? You will just be waving, you will just be making what? A wreath means a garland of memory. Means what kind of memories? The happy memories of the past, right? The memories which are quite dear to us, right? The memories, the time which we spent, and it was really very nice. So we start thinking about that memory. So this just does what? This just temporarily, right, gives pleasure to our senses, and temporarily just detaches us from the present day world, right? And if we just continue to do this activity, if we just continue to visit the woods, and if we just are in the contact with the things of beauty, means this way we can just continue to live a life happily, right? This way we will just be having the inspiration to live a life happily. We will be living our life happily, and we'll just making others' life happy as well, right? So that is why the poet says, if the tears have obscured your way. That line simply means if the problems which are in your life, if these problems have just overtaken you, and they have overpowered you, and you are just feeling like you should die, right? You are just feeling that there is nothing left in this world for you. So simply the poet says that just go to seek the thing of beauty, to just come out and see the world, which is quite beautiful, right? It is just about your perspective, how you actually takes a look at the world, right? So, and if the tears obscure your way, wave a wreath of memory there, right? And if you do this, what will happen? You will know how wonderful it is to be alive. Means if you are just not around the thing of beauty, right? If you are just not drawing inspiration from a beautiful place, from a beautiful thing, from a beautiful tree, or from a beautiful whatever, the thing that is actually beautiful, right? So if you are just not living just close to that beautiful thing, what will happen? You will not just be receiving inspiration to live, right? And you will just be thinking that you should die, and this world is full of boring things. This world is nothing but a boring place, and there is nothing interesting in this world for you, right? So when you are overpowered with such kind of negativities, with such kind of negative feelings, you just need to do what? You just need to be around uh, nature and the beauty of nature, right? Okay, when I'm just explaining this poem to you, bird song, I just remind, right? Oh, sorry, I'm just reminded of a poem, right? This poem has actually been written by John Keats, and the title of the poem is A Thing of Beauty. A Thing of Beauty has also the same theme which runs in this poem, bird song, right? John Keats, in his poem Thing of Beauty, says a thing of beauty is a joy forever, right? And it passes into nothingness, and its loveliness increases day by day, right? So John Keats also, through his poem, he also says that a thing of beauty is a joy forever, right? Means whenever you are feeling sad, whenever you are feeling grievous, right? Whenever you are grieved at something, you just need to do what? You just need to be around the thing of beauty, and you will see that your grief, that your sadness will be away from you, not forever but temporarily, right? So when it is just away from you temporarily, you just need to do what? You just need to continue that activity, right? You just need to following up that task, right? Means whenever you just make time, do not be confined behind the boundaries of your house. You just need to leave your house, right? And someday you should visit what? Here the poet means woods here means anything that actually pleases you, anything that actually is a thing of your interest. You should just do that thing, right? This is the only way which gives us inspiration, motivation to live in this world, right? Which is superficially not good at all, right? It is full of worries, it is full of insecurity, it is full of fear and all these things, right? So students, basically the poet through this poem actually wants to tell us that we should try to receive, we should try to get what? Inspiration from the things around. And the best thing which can give us good inspiration, good piece of inspiration, is the nature, right? So we should learn a lot from the nature, from the natural things, right? Here the poet in the first stanza has taken the example of a bird, right? So the bird does what? The bird actually leaves its home, right? And it just does what? It just enjoys the current of wind, it just enjoys the current of streams, it just enjoys, right, what? The greenery of the nature, right? So this is how this small creature like a bird receives inspiration to live, right, its life, right? Not only its own life, but it just provides what? It provides all the things which are essential for survival to its tiny, we can say, the offsprings, right? So students, with this we just come to an end with this poem. I hope that you have understood the essence of this poem, right? So students, very soon I'll be back with a new chapter for you. Till the moment, keep smiling, be happy. Thank you very much.